Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Wait, are we
Hi.
live?
Yeah,
Live?
we're live now. We are officially live, live.
See us
Hi,
play
everybody.
chess?
Huh?
What?
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 Yo, Scott. Whenever you see this, could you give me tips on drawing the perspective where a character's face is close to the camera but the body's further in the distance? I want to do an art piece with this in mind. Scrub says.
Um, I'm gonna be honest with you about that particular, like, you know, idea. For many years, I tried to practice this, and regularly, I have sketchbooks filled with hundreds of those drawings, and I just never got to where I liked it, and so I just stopped trying to draw it. Like that used to be my holy grail. Like one day I'll be able to draw this, and I just stopped. I just don't ever try to draw it anymore. There's I think page 2 and 3 of the Panty Bear have that kind of
Yeah,
pose,
the
and it
double page
looks
spreads.
like okay. And that's like the last time I ever tried to draw it. I'll try and do it now and make a fool of myself, but my file explorer crashed, so I can't pull up the Panty Bear page. So
That's pretty funny.
I'll just try and draw it here. And oh wait, no, never mind. Here we are. Website. Yeah. This I kind of tried to do it. It actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's actually pretty bad. But I did draw this like 4 years ago, so maybe cut me some slack on
Speaking of that, real quick,
BrysonScott.store.
you can actually buy that book in print at BrysonScott.store. That's crazy, but you can.
If I had to give you some advice on it, like if I had to try it right now, I would just say to start with like really simple shapes. And I don't know. I'm figuring out in real time if I'm actually able to do this. And it looks like I'm not. It because the problem is that you end up with like or at least me, like I end up with like the chest and face doing this and then the body doing this, but it's not natural like you would get from like a real perspective piece. So it would have to be something more like I've not drawn in a week. This is my excuse. Uh no, okay, I can't do wait. Hold on. That line was the ticket.
That line was the ticket.
Okay, now you just squish it a little bit, and then you use the perspective tool, and you do that a little bit, and then you unsquish it a little bit.
So you're just saying you
This is
cheat?
a, this is a really unscientific method. And then you go in and maybe do like another, like this sort of thing, put like an ear in here. Do like this sort of thing. I feel like I've been exposed
What if
as
I
a bad
told you that the
artist.
character is laying down?
Laying down. No, I can't help you. I don't know. The head's too big. Hold on.
You know, before we went live, Scott, you said this is going to be a rough stream for me. I'm out of practice. I've not drawn in a week. I'm glad this is the first thing you had to do.
I'm not glad. Yeah, this is bad. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete that and can we start over? Can we ungo live and then go live again? I don't know. I can't do that. That's just like my kryptonite for some reason. Like I just can't figure it out. I've not tried in a long time. Like I said, I gave up at some point. I stopped attempting it.
So the sort of moral of the story is just give up.
Just give up.
Just
You don't
quit.
have to try. I mean, no one's making you.
So Scott, how was your week off?
Hey, pretty good. I'll never do it again. Um, I don't know. I got bored around Monday afternoon. But luckily, I had occupied myself with a lot of random shit, like mostly with Bryce, like going rock climbing, driving to our PO box,
Driving to Keene.
to Keene. So I was pretty occupied, really, and that made it a little bit easier. But if I didn't have shit to do all week, I would have been bored out of my mind.
That's not really that insightful of a thing. If I didn't have stuff to do, man, I would have been bored. What?
I think it is. I think it shows that I've just not learned how to take time off yet.
I guess that's fair. So you enjoyed it, is the moral of the story.
It was pretty good. I played some OOTP.
I had a bet going that he wouldn't make it till Wednesday. That like it would hit Wednesday and then he would cave and start working. And when he messaged me on Monday and he was like, "Man, I'm bored. I don't know what to do." I really thought that he wasn't even gonna make it past then, but you made it the whole week.
The whole week. You lost the bet.
That is true. I would say that I'm proud of you, but I don't know. I just think it's such a bare minimum thing to be proud of someone for. Like, oh, I'm proud that you cannot do work. Huh?
I said I think it's assumed that you're always proud of me.
Yeah. Is that true?
Yeah. To me, it is.
Yeah.
What about you guys? We've been away for how long? When's the last time we streamed?
Was it Friday? Bryce? Not like last Friday, but the Friday before, I think.
Maybe.
I
don't know. There was a day we didn't stream.
We didn't stream that Wednesday. Of that week. So I think we streamed Friday though. So yeah, it's been a week. So we launched the store last week, the Panty Bear store officially for everyone. So that's cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Shut the fuck up, I'm talking.
Okay.
So if you'd like to buy our book, you can buy it at BryceandScott.store if you're in America, or you can go to Amazon if you're international in the countries that we ship to.
Or also America, you could.
Or also America. It's really funny. I spent all this time working on this international store, going through all this stuff. We got like 4 international orders, and people still just bought our book in America on Amazon, which is fine. It's just funny. But it's cool. It's been really cool. A lot of people have been buying the book. We're very appreciative. I don't remember.
Thanks for the cash.
I don't remember how many copies we've sold off top, but we've sold a fair bit already, honestly. You do international shipping on Amazon? We do. We ship to
4
Germany.
countries.
Shut the fuck up. Why won't you let me? Did you say 4 countries? You weren't even right. You weren't even
I said
right.
like 4.
It's 5. We ship to like Canada, 4? The UK, Germany, Japan, and Australia. There you go. That's your answer. If we don't ship to your country and a lot of people want us to ship to that country, maybe we will. But the reason we only ship to the countries that we ship to is just because of it was the only ones that we were able to do easily without having to deal with a lot of international junk.
Easily in quotation marks.
Yeah, I mean, really, honestly, halfway through Germany, I was like, maybe we can't ship to Germany. Germany was real rough, but we ended up getting it done. Everywhere else, honestly wasn't. Honestly, Australia and Japan were super easy. Canada was super easy. It was mostly just Germany. Germany, they were rough on us.
But any hopefully, reviews on Amazon yet?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I don't think anyone from Amazon's gotten their book yet. So.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Hey, how y'all doing? Thank you guys again for helping with shipping. USPS is a jerk. Yeah, that is true. But they've been, I will say, our local post office, very nice to us. They've been very kind. They weren't happy that we brought in 80 packages one day, but
yeah, apparently there's something called a what's it called?
I don't remember, but basically what it is,
shipping sheet.
Yeah, it like has like one barcode that they scan in that just scans in all the packages. We didn't know that the day we brought in 80 packages. And so when we came in today, they were kind of like, "Hey guys, can you do this so we don't have to scan in 80 packages at once again?" And so we have to do that. So that's kind of, but they were very nice about it.
Which is nice.
Yeah, which is nice. This is my first stream back in God knows how long. How have you been doing, or how long have you been doing art? I just started this year. Scott, how long have you been doing art?
A little while.
A little bit.
A little bit. No, I don't know. I started when I always have to do math when people ask me this question. I started in like 2015, I think, like seriously, but I drew a lot as a kid. So in a sense, I've drawn for a long, long time, but like doing it seriously like 2015.
It's been about 8 years is the simple answer.
It's been about 8 years.
There you go.
Unless you count me drawing as a kid.
He started drawing every day 8 years ago.
I was drawing in the womb.
No, you weren't. What? What?
You don't know.
Yeah, if you want the exact date, August 25th was the date that we started taking comic creating seriously. So that's our comic anniversary. So we had a partner originally, but then we kicked him off. We threw him to the sidelines. That partner was actually Shroom, who you all know in the Discord. The first night we were ever making comics, he was there with us. He was working on the comic with us. So moment of silence for us casting Shroom aside.
Good.
He was cool about it though. What's your favorite comic?
Does manga count?
I would say manga counts, yeah.
Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball.
20th Century Boys. That's mine.
Your favorite?
Yeah, I'd probably say that, or if I had to say my favorite in terms of like see, because I feel like Dragon Ball is like Dragon Ball is probably like the one I enjoy the most, but I don't know if I would say it's like my favorite. And I really love 20th Century Boys.
Not gonna lie, you lost me there.
20th Century Boys is one of the only mangas I've read in a long time that I will say the last like 4 books kind of suck. But the first like 7 books are some of the like most gripping writing I've ever read. I don't know. I'd say that, or if I had to give an answer that was like more common, I guess I'd probably say either Dragon Ball or Full Metal. There, are you happier? Is that an easier answer for you?
I'll accept Full Metal.
I'd probably say Full Metal over Dragon Ball. But then again, I'm a pretty big stan of Full Metal Alchemist.
That's okay. You're not always correct. I need to clean my monitors.
Saladin's also very good, if anyone is just looking for a really good, just 1 book manga. I mean, it's Inio Asano, so know what you're getting yourself into, but it is very good. What's your favorite American comic, Scott?
Oh boy. I don't really have one.
I really like this book called The Panty Bear, which you can buy at BrysonScott.store.
Yeah, I'm not big on American comics. I just could never really get into them. I got a comic from my great grandmother when I was a little boy, and or not my great grandmother, just my grandmother, and it said it was like a Hulk comic, and it said the word ass on the first page, and then I wasn't allowed to read it anymore. So I just never really had a chance to get into American comics.
That's a lame ass excuse. You just don't like American comics. That's all you have to say.
Oh, I mean that is true.
I'm not saying it's not true, but I don't think I don't think you would have liked American comics anyway.
Probably not. But I'm just saying I never had a chance.
We don't read much American comics. I don't even know if I'm trying to think of one. I mean, I loved Scott Pilgrim growing up, like the actual comics. So I guess I'd say Scott Pilgrim be my favorite Western comic, but that's not that it's not good, but that's just it's like literally like the only one I read Scott Pilgrim when I was younger, and I read The Walking Dead as it was coming out when I was younger. That's basically the extent of my American comics. And then I read a bunch of fucking Ultimate Spider-Man, I think that's the only real superhero comic I've ever read. What happened to him? I assume that's talking about Shroom. We were like 16, 17, and he just kind of like, I don't know. We all like we used to do this thing where we would all just like Scott and I and other people, we would just kind of like make up stories and just like talk about them and bullshit. And it was just like a thing we did. And like we did that. It was like kind of like the same old, like doing this again with this story, but like this time, I don't know, Scott and I just took it really seriously. And then I don't know. It just kind of like, we were just kind of like, do you want to work on this? And he was kind of like, and just took different paths. It wasn't like anything like bad or anything.
And then we wrote the Panty Bear the very next day.
That's not true. The Panty Bear came about 3 years after that.
And then we wrote the Panty Bear the very next day.
What about comic strips? No, I never read any comic strips growing up.
We wrote comics.
Well, don't bring that up. No one needs to know about our dark ages. There was a time when Scott and I really wanted to be like Odd One Out. Like before he like popped off, back when he like was just like just popping off. I guess when all those kinds of channels were popping off, like when him and Jaden and all those like people of that kind of variety were just starting to pop off, we really wanted to be like them. And we were bad.
Oh, we had that Pokemon Go.
We did have a Pokemon Go post that popped off. For the time, popped off. It was like the day Pokemon Go came out, I think. The second day it came out?
Maybe not the day, but it was very recent.
Yeah, well, yeah, like it was like right when Pokemon Go came out, we made this like one shitty like meme comic about it, and for some reason people really liked it.
Either the last one or like the second to last one.
That we ever did. I know we made a few after that because I know the Bryce Harper one was after it. Because that one just was, it did awful. It was awful.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, we had this weird arc in our careers, like kind of like, I was before the Panty Bear, so it was like the year before the Panty Bear, I think, where we were really struggling to do, like we had been making comics for like 2 years, and we were still pretty awful at it, and we'd only actually like successfully written like one book, and we were so unhappy with it, we never even drew it. And so we just started doing random shit. Like I don't know, we did like the web comics, or the comic strips, and then we did like these like 3 short web comics, which I'm sure are still out there somewhere, called like World's Worst Bounty Hunter or something like that, which were pretty awful. And like we just did like a bunch of random shit.
This is the stream where we just bury ourselves.
It's us in the past. I don't know. I think everyone thinks they were worse in the past than they are currently.
I don't know. Try going without drawing for a week.
I tried doing a strip game, but it didn't work out. At least I'm happy with the result of the art piece itself. That's all that matters sometimes, Scrub.
That's all that matters.
How do you even do strip games? Scott doesn't anymore. That's the key.
True. They're fucking dead. They're never coming back unless I change my mind.
Evil Dead, I Hate Fairyland, and TMNT comics. We saw Evil Dead. We saw
Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, we saw that like a week ago.
It's gonna be a good year for movies.
It's gonna be a good... Yeah, we saw it, and there were these two drunk women in front of us, and they just talked the whole movie. But right before the movie, they were showing the previews, and they showed this preview for Blue Beetle, which is like this really just like generic looking superhero movie coming out. And like the trailer finishes, and this one girl looks at the other and is like, "This is gonna be a good year for movies." And it was really funny.
The Flash trailer was after that, and she goes, "Oh
yeah." Blue Beetle hit with her. The Flash trailer did not.
They were talking pretty much constantly throughout the whole movie, to the point where I was finally like, okay, I'm gonna have to say something to them, so they shut the fuck up. Like we were like an hour into the movie. I was like, I'm finally gonna have to say something because I just can't take it anymore, because they were getting louder as the movie was going on. And but they had like this dude with them, and I was like, I don't want to say something and like have to like fight this random guy. Like I just don't want to do that.
For the record,
but it was finally...
the dude seemed stone cold sober, and kind of like it was a weird vibe, because like he was quiet. He wasn't anything like them. It was so strange.
Yeah, it was just them, and he was like perfectly calm and everything. He was like the designated driver. But it was finally enough, and like I was about to say something, and then all of a sudden I hear this dude at the end of our road go, "Shut the fuck up!" And then like they like kind of keep talking. They go, "Is he talking to us? Did he tell us to shut the fuck up?" And he goes, "You've been talking the whole fucking movie. Shut up!" And then they left. They were so upset that they just.
And then after the movie, like Scott was taking a piss, and the dude came up to us and apologized. Like he came up to us and was like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I had to snap on him a little bit. They just wouldn't shut the fuck up." We were all like, "It's cool, dude." It was really funny. But they were like, they weren't just talking the whole movie. Like that's not. They were reacting to everything but vocally.
I'm about to throw up.
Yeah, like, and it's Evil Dead Rise, so it's like super gory. It was like they didn't know what they were watching. Like every single time, I'm about to throw up. Nah, if that were me, I'd jump out the window. Nah, that was the whole movie. Like they were reacting.
There's a part with this little girl where she does something stupid, and they go, "Oh, what a dumb bitch."
It was like they had never seen a horror movie and did not know. They just had no idea what was going to happen. It was like person watching their first movie, but they were very drunk. Like it cannot be understated how drunk.
When they got up, they were like, "They told us to shut the fuck up. Well, we're leaving. We're not staying for this." And they got up and they left. And the dude that they were with was kind of just like sitting there, and he stayed there for like a minute after that, and then he's just kind of like. And then he gets up and leaves too. Yeah,
like, he did. It was really weird. They got up and left, and the dude sat there for like 30 seconds. And there was this feeling where he was like, do I leave with them or do I stay here? Like, what do I do?
Dude was trying to get laid. I don't know what was going on.
It was very strange. I don't know. It was a weird movie. Was fine though. It was a fun time.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was gory. I don't know. It was entertaining. Hey, can't stay for the stream today. I want to pop in and say, hope you all have a great time. Thank you, Matt. Hope you have a great time, too.
Matt, have a good time.
Yeah, we we also last night we saw Ponyo in theaters, and there was this couple that was I like they weren't talking during the movie, thankfully, but before the movie they spoke so loud. I don't know how to describe it. I sound like such an old man bitching about this, but we were sitting just like a little bit down the road for them, and the only way I could describe it is that, like, you know, it's before the movie. It was like 10 minutes before the movie, so like they hadn't really started even playing too much stuff yet, and like everyone's just kind of talking like this, you know, doing that thing. Even the guy, it's two people, and the guy it's a guy and a girl, and the guy is talking. He's just kind of talking like this, and the girl is talking like this. I mean, everything she can say, she's responding like this. It was crazy.
And then the guy would keep trying to like match her intensity, and like he'd have to get a little bit louder, and then you know, he'd simmer down. He'd start talking like the normal movie theater volume, and then she'd respond, and she'd be like, "Hey," and then what did you think about this? And then they were talking about like just the nerdiest shit too. Like, you know, I mean, I know we were seeing Ponyo, but like, holy shit, it's like every nerd dude cliche that you could think of, like, bro.
You can sum it all up in one sentence. There was a point where we were sitting there, and it was dead silent in the theater. Like, the trailers had started, and everyone was quiet. And I shit you not, the guy leans over to the girl, and he goes, when you get the chance, you have to read the novelization of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. It really gives backstory to why Anakin did what
really
he did.
Good.
And like, I'm not joking. Like, and like, and then she went, "Really? I should?" Like, bro, it was crazy. It was weird. But they were quiet when the movie started. They're like, it wasn't that bad. Like, that doesn't bother me, but it was just funny. We've been to the theater a lot since I moved. Probably 15 times at least, right? I would say.
Probably.
And I think that the drunk people, is the only time we've had people that were just talking constantly, except when we saw Cocaine Bear. There were these dudes next to me who were so into this movie. They were like, in a way that I couldn't even be annoyed by. Like, they were college age kids, maybe even a little bit younger, maybe like just end of high school kids. And they were reacting to this movie like they had never seen a movie before. Like, everything was shocking to them. They couldn't believe it. They left that theater. I swear to God, they must have thought Cocaine Bear was the greatest film ever made. It was crazy.
Pretty good.
What'd you say?
I said it was pretty good.
Yeah. How would you rate Cocaine Bear? Yeah, I would say it was pretty fun. I mean, listen, movies like that, if you know what you're going into and you're just trying to have a good time, like, you'll enjoy it. You can't go into that movie trying to like rank it on the same scale as you would like a good movie. You have to just go in and be like, this is a popcorn movie. I'm going to turn my brain off and I'm going to see stupid shit and I'm going to laugh at it. If you go in like that, you'll have a good time with most movies. Same with like Renfield. Renfield was the same kind of thing. Had a good time watching that movie. Like, yeah, it's not a good movie by normal standards, but just by like turning your brain off, having fun standards.
He was so Nick Cage in that movie.
He was so Nick Cage in that movie.
I mean, like, Nick Cage is always Nick Cage, but in that movie, he was
it's to
really
an extreme. The guy that actually plays Renfield in that movie is really good.
Nick Holt.
Nick Holt.
What's his name?
Would you say Cocaine Bear was the movie of all time? Yeah. Luckily, I've not experienced that situation in any kind of movie theaters I've been in. You just kind of do sometimes. I guess I feel like you're like, if you go to movies a lot, you're just like, it's impossible to ignore it. Or to avoid it, like like, it's just a situation that will happen at some point. Most of the time it doesn't really bother me if it's like for example, Evil Dead Rise. I'll be honest, like, it annoyed me because like it was just, I don't know, it's kind of a dick move to talk the whole movie. But like, you know, it's Evil Dead Rise. I wasn't really, now like if I had like gone and seen something like Everything Everywhere All at Once and someone had been talking the whole movie, I would have been pretty pissed off. But I feel like the kind of movies that attract people that talk the whole movie are typically movies like Evil Dead Rise.
We only saw it because the fucking trailers were relentless. We had to. Like there was just like it finally broke my brain, and I was like, okay, I have to see it. I can't not watch this movie.
Every single time we had gone to the theater, we had seen the fucking trailer for it. And yeah, we just had to. You know what's starting to be like that is that fucking dog movie. We're starting to see the trailer for that.
But that looks awful.
No, that looks awful. Like the difference with Evil Dead Rise at least look kind of interesting. The dog movie looks awful, but goddamn, every fucking time we go, we're seeing it, and it's just the same fucking trailer. It makes me want to die. I have a good time watching a bad horror movie with my friend. That's what you and I used to do quite a bit, Scott.
Yeah, that's fun.
There was a time period where like Scott and I, we did it a lot in like late high school, but after high school too, where we would just like go through Netflix and just go by horror and just look for like the shittiest movie we could find. And we watched a lot of really funny movies that way. The problem is that like you have to find movies that were like that are bad but not trying to be bad, because that's the problem now. I feel like bad horror, like intentional bad horror movie, has become a genre. And those aren't that funny to me. Like, those are kind of lame. But when it's not trying to be bad, that's when it's really funny. Every once in a while, you'll do that and you'll find a movie that's actually good.
Until they start doing karate at the end.
Until they start doing karate at the end. God, that movie has stuck with me my entire life. Not the name. The name always escapes me.
Yeah.
What do you mean when you say period? Like era of our lives, section of our lives.
Sex.
Do you remember that movie? Oh my god, was it Mr. Bedeviled, the one about the virus in the phone?
Yes.
That movie's a masterpiece. If anyone wants to watch a masterpiece of horror, go watch I think it's called Mr. Bedeviled. It's this horror movie about like a ghost that lives in your phone. Like it's like a virus that your phone can get. There's a lot of great scenes in this movie, but the two that always stick with me is the one where like the hacker man is like is like trying to hack the ghost away, but like he leaves his firewall off, and so the ghost comes through his firewall and kills him. And there's the part where they realize it's in their phone, and they're all standing in a living room together. And it's kind of like in It, when like the Losers Club like all realizes like Pennywise, like they all band together for the first time. It's kind of like that, but imagine like 6 like high school kids all looking at their phones and going, "It's in our phones!" And they all just start throwing their phones at the ground and like breaking their phones. And it's like really dramatic. And then I think there's like one bitch who's like super generic cheerleader girl, but like, and she like pretends to break her phone but doesn't.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a great movie. I highly recommend it. That was one of those movies that like we just laughed the whole fucking movie.
If you want to watch a bad movie, that's always my recommendation. That's the best bad movie.
The fucking hacker, man. I'll just never forget when he's like, "I've hacked it away. I've beaten the ghost. We've won." And then he like pauses and he's like, "Oh fuck! It broke through my firewall." It's such a stupid guy. It's really funny too because it takes itself very seriously. Like it really wants you to buy into this like phone ghost. Hello, I'm joining late. Did I miss anything? No, we're not that interesting.
We're just talking about
Mr. Bedeviled.
Mr. Bedeviled or something.
It's also that one horror movie with MGK in it, where he has the broken leg the whole movie. That's another classic one.
That's called like Quarantine or something.
It has a really like Containment or something. It has like a generic.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. Now it sucks. Now we're in like a bit of a dead period for movies where there's just not really anything coming out.
Thank God for Ghibli Fest.
Or anything good. Yeah, that is true. But the next one isn't even until like July, right?
No, it's in June.
Oh, June. Fair.
It's next month.
Oh, and they're back-to-back days, aren't they, next month?
Yeah. Because it's Nausicaa and Kiki's.
Really? Fair.
Yeah, pretty sure. Which is nice. Do you think anybody knows that commercial?
I don't know. Amy just messaged me and said HelloFresh gave us stuff for a recipe we don't have, which is really funny considering I accidentally got 6 meals this week. I don't know if that means they gave us 7 meals. Did you guys see the Mario movie? Yes, we did.
Why did we?
We weren't the biggest fans of it. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess there's not really anything coming out. I give Spider-Verse coming out, which that's coming out in June too, isn't it?
I thought that was July, but I could be wrong. I usually am.
And then what's after that? Fucking
I think Oppenheimer's
I was
in
gonna
like
say
July.
Oppenheimer's in July, yeah. I'm excited for Oppenheimer, but I like Spider-Verse is June 2nd, by the way. I'm excited for Oppenheimer, but it's one of those weird movies where I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what the trailer is going to be about or what the movie's going to be about, except for like what it's good. Like I don't know how you make, I guess, like a long, interesting movie out of that. But I guess I also don't know enough about Oppenheimer, aside from what everyone knows about Oppenheimer.
Nolan, so it's gonna be like a 3.5-hour movie.
The movie's going to be about Oppenheimer, Bryce. That is true. It's going to be like a 3-hour movie, and there's going to be a lot of blah. Blah. It's going to be loud.
It's gonna be loud, but for some reason you can't understand any of the dialogue.
It's going to be loud, but then like when the bomb goes off, it's going to be just like silent. Like no noise at all.
Oh, there's a bomb?
Sorry, I spoiled Oppenheimer for you.
In an Oppenheimer movie? A bomb? No.
There's the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie that came out. Yeah, but we don't like Marvel movies that much. Our theater was showing, had 9 theaters dedicated to the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. 9.
That's true.
9. What the fuck? Will you see the Five Nights at Freddy movie? I don't know.
No.
Probably not. Unless like we hear that it's like cracked and like really good, but I don't have that expectation.
We go see a lot of movies. I would say that we see most movies that come out, like big releases, besides superhero movies. But we don't see everything. I don't think either of us were ever into Five Nights at Freddy's.
That was a bit after us, I feel like. I feel like we were, when like Five Nights was popping off, we were like, we were late high school at that point, weren't we?
Yeah, we were too cool for it.
I've always associated that being a thing that like a lot of people played like growing up when it came out, which is fine. I just feel like we missed the wave on that a bit. TMNT movie? I'll be honest, I know nothing about this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie except that there's a poster for it in our theaters. I have never heard a word about it aside from that. I have never seen a trailer for it. I just know about it because of that one poster. I don't know about you, Scott.
Didn't even know they were doing one. So.
I only know it because every time I walk by it, I point to it and I go Vanilla Ice because of the thing. It's always, every time we see the Ghibli movies, they're always in theater 4 and the poster's perpetually right next to it.
I do remember you saying that.
Good. I'm glad you don't remember the poster, but you remember me.
I guess I do remember the poster now.
There's only one.
Didn't they make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie where they were like aliens or something?
I don't know. They made a few Teenage Mutant Turtle movies. The best one being the 2 live action ones that came out in the 90s. The second one featuring the Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice, our friend.
Shared a stage with him, actually.
We did share a stage with Vanilla Ice. We were there for we were on stage for Ice Ice Baby. It doesn't get much more intense than that. I just wonder how I'm going to explain that story to my children one day. Like I think about the fact that I'm going to have to explain to my kids one day that I went on stage at a Vanilla Ice concert and danced in an inflatable clown costume.
An upside down inflatable
clown costume. With drunken women all around me. Just happy to be near Vanilla Ice.
Bitches love clown costumes.
And you were a polar bear.
I was a polar bear.
I like TMNT 2007. I remember that's the one that came out in 2007.
Wow.
No, I remember that one growing up because we bought it on DVD. So we owned it on DVD.
Not DVD.
We had I don't know, we had a bunch of movies on DVD, but like my parents didn't buy many like kids movies on DVD because like all the kids movies we owned on VHS like when I was growing up. So like for the longest time we had a VHS player still that we would use for kids movies. But like when I was like 10, 11ish, maybe like younger, like 9, 10ish, like we didn't have very many DVD movies, but the few we had were like TMNT 2007, fucking like Madagascar, and like 1 or 2 other movies. And so I remember as a kid, there was like these 2 days I was sick and I was home, like I had the flu or something, and I had nothing to do because like there wasn't really like anything interesting on or anything to do. So I just watched Madagascar like 7 times in a row one day. Like I was just like sick on and it was Incredibles. So like I was home for 2 days and I remember I was like just laying on the couch watching Madagascar. One day I just watched all Madagascar and the next day I just watched all the Incredibles. And the weirdest thing I remember about this, and you're gonna think I'm lying when I say this, but it's true. At one point I was watching Madagascar and our table caught on fire. And I was like half asleep and sick with the flu. And had to like call my dad to put out the table that was on fire as fucking Move It was playing in the background. Have I ever told you this story?
No, how did your table light on fire?
Well, there was like a candle on the table. It was a big wooden table. It was like a big like one of those like big expensive like low to the ground coffee tables that has like drawers in it. And like it had like all our board games and shit in it. And it was all made of wood. And there were candles burning on it, or not burning, like there was a candle burning on it. And my dad had just brought, because it was just me and my dad home at the time, because my mom was working and my dad wasn't, and so he was taking care of me while I was sick. And he had just brought me something to eat, like a sandwich or something. And he was like, "Okay, buddy, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'll just call me if you need me." And I was like, "Okay." And I don't remember the exact scenario, but I remember he just brought me the sandwich on a napkin, not like a plate. And so like I ate the sandwich and then I set like or like a paper towel, and I set the paper towel down, and I think there was a fan on in the room because it was like summer and it was hot. And I think the fan blew the paper towel into the candle, and the candle landed back, like the paper towel was on fire, landed on the table, and then the table started to catch fire. It wasn't anything that extreme. Like my dad put it out before anything really happened. But it's just kind of like a random fever dream memory that I have of that happening while Move It was playing in the background.
Jesus Christ, you could have died, dude.
No, it wasn't like that bad. Like it was fine. Like it didn't. I want to clarify. The table did not like get engulfed in flames. It was just like the top of the table. It was black. There was some.
There's no such thing as just a little fire.
Well,
it was just a little bit on
like
fire.
My dad was able to just like scoop it into like a trash can, and like the top of the table was just like singed in one part of it. Like it was just black on one part of it. We kept that table for years afterwards. It was around for a long time. I don't know, that's a random memory from my childhood. I don't don't think I've ever. I can't believe I've never brought that up to you.
I have never heard that story.
I feel like
so.
I forgot that even happened until right now. I was a sickly kid though. I was home from school a lot when I was younger because I was sick. So I have a lot of. Huh?
Said you're a sickly adult.
Yeah, I know. But when I was a kid, before they found out my sinuses don't work, and before they found out that I'm just always sick because of my sinuses, I would get sick a lot. And so I remember, I just have like random memories of like, I don't know. I also remember one time I was really sick and I was home for like a week. Like sick enough that like my class, I was like in like 3rd or 4th grade. So like my classmates like wrote a letter about how much they all missed me, which is really funny in hindsight. They didn't do that when I was a senior and I missed 84 days.
No, they didn't.
But I remember it being like 3 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. And like my dad, again, it was me and my dad, he like made me a bowl of ramen. And so I was like eating ramen and I was sick and I couldn't sleep. And like him and I just like sat up at, there's this movie, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's made by Walter Hill. Walter Hill, for those who don't know, made a movie called The Warriors, which is very near and dear to my heart. It's a movie I watched a lot growing up with my dad, and it's a movie that I really love just because, like I said, I watched it a lot growing up with my dad. It's called, the movie I'm thinking of is called Southern Comfort. Walter Hill made another movie that's basically The Warriors, but set with like the Louisiana National Guard in the middle of like Louisiana, called Southern Comfort. And my dad really wanted me to watch it because I liked the Warriors so much growing up. And my dad used to do this thing where any movie that he liked, he would just make me watch, because he was trying to basically just make me him. He wanted, and most of the time it worked. Most of the time I liked the things. But it was like 3 a.m. and I was sick. And I was eating, and he made me watch this movie called Southern Comfort with him. And I remember it finished, and he's like, "What'd you think of it, son?" And I was like, "Dad, that movie sucked." And he was really upset. I've never watched it since, so maybe it doesn't suck. I don't know, but I don't remember what it's about, except that it's like The Warrior, but with the National Guard.
Remember Bryce showed me The Warrior when we were younger.
It's The Warriors.
The Warriors, and he talked it up as the single greatest movie of all time, and I don't think I remember anything about it. But every time it would get, I was like, yeah, it was okay, I guess. And like every time it got brought up after that, Bryce was like, damn, remember how good The Warriors was? Remember how that was like the best movie ever?
It's a movie that is very fine, if I'm being honest. I mean, like, it's okay. It's not you see it referenced a lot. I mean, like, I'm actually surprised with how much it gets referenced, because I just didn't know that many people really like watched it. I mean, it's referenced in there's a whole section of the new John Wick movie that is all just a reference to it. Like a 20-minute section of the movie that is all just a reference to The Warrior. Which is just really weird. But that specific section of The Warriors is referenced a lot. The Nowhere to Run section with the DJ. It's referenced in a lot of things. But anyway, it's just a fine movie. But like I said, I watched it a lot with my dad growing up. Specifically, when my parents were separated, I watched it a lot with my dad. So it's a near and dear movie to my heart.
Oh yes, reminds me of the times my parents were separated. What a good movie.
I also remember my dad.
That's why I watch it all the time.
I remember my dad. I remember him convincing my mother to let me watch Scarface because I was in the room, and he was talking to, because first he came to me and he went, "Son, I think it's about time you watch my favorite movie of all time." And I was like, "What, Dad?" I was like 9 years old. He was like, "Well, I've been talking it over with your mother a lot, and she doesn't think you should watch Scarface. She thinks you're too young, but I think you're old enough. And so I think I've convinced her." And then I don't think he had actually convinced her, for the record. I think he just decided we were going to watch it and decided to deal with the repercussions later. And so I sat and watched Scarface with him at like 9 years old, 10 years old. I was very young, and I loved it. I was enthralled by the movie. And then I remember the next day I asked if I could watch it again, and my mother, I just remember her in the room with me, and she was like, Oh, Jody, see what you've done to her boy? He wants to watch it again already. Oh, Jody, look what you've done to him. And like she walks out of the room and he looks at me and he's like, okay, I'll let you watch it again, but like we have to pretend like you don't like it as much. So we like, so because else you'll never be able to watch it again. And I remember the same thing happened with Grand Theft Auto, where I remember one time I was in the car with my mom and I talked back to her. I said, I don't know, I was like 9 or 10 again. And I like talked back to her and she went, oh Bryce, you were such a good kid before you started playing Grand Theft Auto. You were such a good boy before you started playing Vice City. Oh, I told your father this would happen. And it's really
Your mom
funny.
was a hoot. I only got to talk to her for a few minutes, but she was a hoot. She was ready to get the fuck out of there when I met her.
Yeah. Well, my mom had also been
Everyone
driving
else
for like
was
10
having
hours.
these like tearful goodbyes, and his mom was ready to go.
Yeah, they dropped me
Like,
off.
right then.
And my dad's like crying. My uncle's like, and my mom's like, yeah, Bryce, I love you. I miss you. But we gotta hit the road though. And then like I would like talk to my for a few minutes and she'd be like, yeah, Bryce, but like, no, like for real, like we gotta go. And then at some point she was like, well, we're leaving. Goodbye. And she just like hugged me. And then my dad was like, oh, I want to talk to him a little more. And she's like, well, you can call him. And they laughed. It was really funny. I wonder if the Panty Bear book will be available in stores soon, like Walmart. Probably not.
We have made zero effort to do that.
That just, I'll be honest, that just seems like too much work for us right now. But maybe one day it will be sold in stores local to us. That's probably, for the Panty Bear at least, that's probably the best I could say. Maybe it'll be sold in stores somewhere in Kentucky one day. But I don't think it would ever be sold somewhere like Walmart or anything. Probably just like independent comic stores. Do you use pose references?
Do I use pose references? Sometimes. I am right now. So
Wow.
yeah, I try and do it more. I got in a habit for a long time where I could only draw from imagination. And I actually just like whenever I tried to use reference, I couldn't. So I've been trying to do it more, but I've also been saying that for like 3 years at this point. So who knows? But at this very moment, I am, yes.
Wow.
Because this is kind of a strange
Strange.
pose. Strange. Which is nice.
I can't believe.
Can you explain that this is nice commercial?
Do you think I could show it on stream? Do
Maybe.
you think I could find it?
I'm sure it exists somewhere.
Hold on, everyone. Give me a second. Let me cook. Okay, so here, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find. Everyone's just looking at the pause screen real quick. Regal Films, fucking movie quotes trailer. I don't know what to call it other than that. Oh, I found it. Oh, it's so loud. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna give some context for this. We go to the movie theater we go to is a Regal. And before every single movie, they play this trailer. Or they play this like commercial. And it has become a thing that like we cannot stop quoting. So I'm gonna play the trailer. It's a minute long. This is what plays for every single movie you see in a Regal theater.
It's all happening.
This thing is nicer than my apartment.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
Mr. Musk.
That's gonna leave a mark.
She's beauty and she's grace.
Hey, you guys!
It's not a man purse, it's called a satchel.
You can't sit with us.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
As F, you sit on a throne of lies.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
So we just can't stop quoting it. Like we just. Oh,
Which is
God.
nice.
Oh God! It started playing a Rhett and Link song. But yeah, we just can't stop. Like It's so, you hear it so many times. Like, it's actually really funny. We're not the only people. Scott, I don't know if when you did the Hey You Guys last time, because every time the Hey You Guys parts comes up, Scott does it. Like, he leans over, does it really loud. Other people in the theater do it too. Like, everyone gets into it. Also, we've never been able to figure out why Danny Trejo's there. Like, there's no other, like, actual, like, known actors in the trailer, I don't think. And then for some reason, Danny Trejo's just there.
Which is nice.
It's very strange. But yeah,
it's one of those things that if I only saw it one time, I probably wouldn't give it a second thought. The fact that I've seen it hundreds of times at this point,
the fact that we
over the last several years. Oh, dude, I have it memorized.
And now they're putting the quotes on the popcorn and the soda things. So like now like you'll get a soda and it'll say like, "Hey, you guys." I'm really upset none of them say which is nice.
I think they do. I
none
think
of them.
there is one.
Oh, I've not got one that says it. Unfortunate. Also, this movie theater we go to, I swear to God, the people that work there are like AI generated. Like they're not real people. I have to talk about what happened. So every time we go there, you have to go there like super fucking early because the concession lines are awful.
Ridiculous.
And I don't even mean like they're always busy. I just mean like they don't function. Like you can go there and there can only be 2 people ahead of you and it will take you 25 minutes to get your shit. And I've never seen 4 people behind a counter working 2 lines less efficiently. Like I don't want to bitch at people, but the best example, Scott and I were sitting here, we were talking about it yesterday because we were stuck in this line for like 20 fucking minutes and it just wasn't moving. And there were like 10 people behind us because it wasn't moving. And like Scott and I, we were just like talking, we were like, why did it take so long? Like, what is the problem? And as we were saying, we watched a man make a small popcorn. He walked to the popcorn machine. He filled the small popcorn with popcorn and then he kept scooping. Like he did like 5 extra scoops after it was filled and just like popcorn was just spilling off the sides because it was full. And like it wasn't like he caught himself and was like, oh, I made a mistake. He just like, it was like he was a sim. Like that's the only way I can describe it. It was so weird. And then the time before that, we got a soda and I watched this man fill the soda up until it like bubbled and then pour the whole soda out and then fill it up and then pour it out. And I watched him do this 5 times before giving us our soda. I don't know. Like I don't know what's happening at this theater, but it's fucking crazy.
Everyone's asleep. It's the only, like, it's so strange. When we watched him, he like did 1 scoop and it filled it like 75% of the way up. And then he did another scoop, which it's overflowing at this point. And then he did another scoop and all of the pop, like none of it goes in the actual bucket. Like it just all falls out. And then he does another scoop. I couldn't believe it.
And it was like, right
at
as
some
we were
point you
talking
realize, well, at some point you realize while you're waiting in line, like you're sitting there and then you're just like, I've been in this line for half an hour. Like what's happening? And like you actually start paying attention to what they're doing and you're like, oh wow, this is how it takes so long.
You're like I swear to God, there's one man behind the counter, like working the counter, and apparently it's his job to do everything. There is always 4 people behind this counter, and there's always 2 lines. And I swear to God, the 2 people working the register, it's like it's their job to do everything. They have to get the soda, they have to get the popcorns, they have to get anything. And then there are 2 other people back there that are never doing anything. One person is always just staring at the hot dog machine. I don't know why. Like it's not like he's making hot dogs. I mean just standing there and just staring at it. Just like it's like he's high and just zoned in on these hot dogs. And then there's always another person just standing there, just like it's like they've powered down in the corner and they're just not moving. It is really weird. I don't know. It's strange. But they never bitch about you bringing your coffee in.
That's true. I do bring in some coffee.
Yeah, sometimes we'll sneak in coffee and we'll like try and hide it and like sneak it in, but they just never give a shit. They don't even like, it's so obvious and they just don't care. Except for that one person that carded us that one time. We got carded
Yeah,
at a movie theater.
I've only been carded at a movie theater one time in my life.
We're 25. One of the people with us was 30. And we got carded.
Yeah,
It's
like what? Yeah, they were like, one of you has to be over 18, and like we all looked at each other like, none of us look like we're over 18. Really?
So basically, all 4 of us pulled our cards out. It was.
She was like, you should take it as a compliment.
Yeah, like we all like looked at each other like confused, and then she was like, "Take it as a compliment. I'm saying you look young." And we were all like, "What the fuck?" So that was strange. Where do you find most of your references and inspiration for poses?
Either in the pose or the outfit suggestions channel in my Discord server, or on Pinterest. Pinterest is a big one.
So your advice is to start a Discord server and get 16,000 people in it and have them just give you references?
No. My advice is just join ours.
Fair. What if someone does a costume before you, though?
Well, that's okay. I'll do it better.
Jesus. Ingo's here, so I think it's time we end stream.
All right, bye, everybody. We gotta have Ingo on stream.
Ingo, do you want to be on stream? I mean, do you want me to just formally ask
I
him
wasn't really gonna ask him.
Ingo, you have to be on stream.
There you go.
You know, somebody, Esqual, thank you for doing this. You just did the Discord thing, and it gave you the link to Discord, our 11,000 person Discord, that I can't change the number of because Scott won't fucking help me.
I don't take any of the responsibility for that.
I literally can't change it.
Yeah, but when is the last time you asked me for the number?
Like literally 2 weeks ago, we were having a conversation. In the middle of it, I said, "Can you do this?" And you just never responded to me. You actually went so far as not to respond to me. You didn't message me again until we went live that day. Like, it was like you purposefully ignored me.
I don't know. This doesn't sound right to me.
And then I brought this up several times since then. Tomorrow we'll fix it. Ingo said sure.
Great.
We'll have our people get in contact with your people.
Now we revoke the invite so he can't come.
Who are you drawing now, Scott?
I'm drawing our character, Lucia, who originated from a webcomic, which has now been printed and turned into a traditional book that you can buy at BryceandScott.store for $10.
Unless
plus taxes,
you buy
plus
it
shipping.
on Amazon, in which case you will have to pay a little bit more if you live internationally. Don't blame us. Blame the system.
Blame your governments.
Don't blame us. Blame your governments.
Well, I mean, it's true.
And did you know if we sell 1 million copies of this, we'll make a Panty Bear 2? Buy now.
Yeah, if we go platinum,
we'll
make a Panty Bear 3 and 4.
Just give me the Panty Bear Netflix adaptation. That'd be pretty cool. I don't even care if they butcher it. I just care about how much money they would give us.
I don't think that Netflix would want to touch the Panty Bear.
No, they're all into ruining
subject
animes.
matter. Yeah,
like-
yeah, but given the subject, it's not woke enough for Netflix.
What do you mean? There is a bear as one of the main characters. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like different. I feel like there's some statement to be said there. I don't know what it is because he's just a bear. I push
Whoa,
for
just a bear?
I push for stuffed animals to be more popular. And
You're gonna finish the sentence? Or
I just not want to be more popular. Stuffed animals are cool. You ever been to Build-A-Bear? It's fucking sick, bro.
I have been to Build-A-Bear.
It's fucking sick. You get to Build-A-Bear. I've never been to Build-A-Bear. Well, I was too poor for that as a kid.
I always wanted to go as a kid,
Uh-huh.
and I was never able to go because I was too poor. And eventually, I was somehow able to go, and I was like the whole time I was trying to convince everybody to take me. They were like, no, like it actually sucks. You know, like you wouldn't even like it. You're not missing anything. And I was like, oh, you're just saying that. And then I went, and I was like, oh, this actually is not very good. But in fairness, when I went, I was like 14. So,
okay, well that makes more sense if you were 14.
a little outside of the target demographic, I'll admit.
My niece went when she was like 4 or 5, and she had a fantastic time. She loves her teddy bear to this day, and she's like 8 now, I think. I don't know. She'd be real pissed at me if she knew I didn't know her age.
Tell her.
Thankfully, she doesn't know how to use Twitch yet. I don't think, at least. All she does is play Five Nights at Freddy's, actually.
That true?
Yeah, she's all into that. That and Zelda. It's a weird pairing. She keeps telling me she wants to play Minecraft, like, online with people, because she fucking loves Minecraft, but, like, she can't. She has no one to play it with, and it makes me feel bad. It makes me want to play Minecraft with her, because before I moved, her and I would play Minecraft together a lot.
I'll go play Minecraft with her. Fuck.
Well, I think she wants, like, a continuous server with people.
Go play Minecraft with her, you jerk.
Well, I do quite a bit, but she's a bit chaotic when she plays Minecraft. I don't know. Well, actually, I guess I say I'm chaotic when I play Minecraft with her. Anyway, that's the story of my niece in Minecraft. She's a little weeb though. She the other day I called her and she was like, guess what I just did? And I was like, what? And she was like, I just read the Majora's Mask manga. And I was like, oh yeah? And then she picked it up and she bent the book in half in front of me, basically. I was like, cool, tight. She also plays the ukulele, which is pretty cool.
I believe you won't play Minecraft with her.
I do play Minecraft with her. I just haven't done since I moved.
That was like 4 months ago.
I've been a busy guy since I moved.
Have you?
Yeah. I have a lot of people to manage, okay? I have to call my parents and talk to them for 2 hours a week. I actually didn't call my parents yesterday. They probably think I'm dead. Never been to Toys R Us or Build-A-Bear, but I wasn't going out much a kid in hindsight. When I was a kid, Toys R Us was my shit. That was anytime I did something really well, my parents would take me to Toys R Us, or when my parents were split up, every time I would drive up to my dad's, there was a Toys R Us on the way. And he would take me to get something at Toys R Us, I guess, as a way to make me feel better about the fact that my parents were split up. And he would always get me a Yu-Gi-Oh toy. And so I had like a steady growing arsenal for a while of like, I had like a Dark Magician and like a bunch of shit. And so I remember that. But I remember one time for my birthday, my parents, like, they asked me what I wanted and I didn't know what I wanted. And so they were like, how about this? We're just going to give you $80 and we're gonna let you go into Toys R Us and buy whatever you want. And as a kid, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the power they were giving me. And I remember I walked in to this Toys R Us and the first thing I saw was a dual disc that was probably like $50. And my dad spent about 20 minutes convincing me not to waste all of my money on a dual disc. Like, my dad was like, listen, Bryce, I know you really like Yu-Gi-Oh, but you don't play the game. You just watch the show and you just play with toys. Do not buy this dual disc. And as we were talking, there were kids throwing down with their dual discs in like the next aisle, like throwing their Yu-Gi-Oh cards down, dueling because the Toys R Us used to hold like tournaments, and they would have kids just like dual disking fucking in the middle of the shit. And I was like shaking. I was like, Dad, I need this. But he eventually convinced me not to buy it. He won in the end.
Of your stories from when you were a kid ends with like, you get told not to do something and then you do it and then you cry.
But I didn't this time.
I know this is definitely the exception.
I didn't buy the dual disc. Did I regret it? No, I actually, because my dad was right in hindsight. I didn't actually play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game as a kid, so if I would have bought that dual disc, I would have just never used it. Would have just like, I don't know, I would have pretended I was Yu-Gi like twice and then like set it down. And instead I bought a bunch of toys. And I played with a bunch of them. I don't remember anything I bought that day, except I remember I bought a big packet of like Army Men, like green and red Army Men. The best part about it was I had like no concept of money. And so my parents gave me like a budget, like I said, it was like $80. And like, I was just grabbing. I just remember just grabbing everything. And then at the end of it just being like, how much is this? Then your dad was a very smart man. Scott sounds like he knew you very well, bro. I don't think it's Scott's dad, but did your dad ever take you to a Toys R Us, Scott?
No, but my dad does have a weed farm, so
they're kind of the same thing.
Well, for the certain people, yes.
Speaking of, I don't know. I played Redfall when it came out last week. Did anyone else play Redfall? That game's awful. That game's really bad. I had a pretty good suspicion that it was going to be really bad, but I really like Arcane, so I wanted it to be really good. It was me and Shroom played it. Really, just awful. Bad. So I don't know. Boring game. What's your opinion on it, Scott?
I loved it. I've not had a bad time playing it yet.
There you go. Here we provide only the most polar opposite of opinions and nothing in between.
They're like balanced takes, you know.
That's what they call us, two balanced takes.
That's what they call 2 chains.
Go on.
Which is nice.
Which is nice. We were the other night we were playing something. I don't fucking remember even. We were playing a board game or something. And Scott and I had lost, or maybe like somebody was setting up a board game. And so Scott and I just started. We have this tradition of whenever we lose at something early, like if we play Risk and the two of us get knocked out, or if we play something and we just start hurting each other because it really upsets our fiancés. It all started with us chopping each other, like doing wrestling chops. That was the first time. I feel like there's another time I'm forgetting, but then one time we threw a Cadbury cream egg at each other. Scott
Those are hard little sons of bitches.
Scott was like, do you think I could bruise you if I hit you in the back with a Cadbury cream egg? And I was like, well, let's see. And he hit me in the ass. It did not bruise me. It did hurt like a motherfucker, I will say. And then I hit him at like the very base of his spine. With one. And then you said it was miserable to eat because he ate the Cadbury cream egg afterwards.
Oh, it was gonna go to waste.
And then the last time we did it, he just walks up to me with this fucking like plastic deviled egg tray and is like, do you think I could hit you hard enough with this to break it? And I go, probably not. And so he does it. And it doesn't break, and then I do it and I break it. So I don't know. This is what we do in our spare time.
get to kick you in the nuts.
Yeah, that is true. You do get to kick me in the nuts at some point. Maybe on the 22nd. Hopefully.
Maybe on the 20th.
Do that right after I pass my test. As I'm getting out of the car, kick me in the balls immediately.
Have we talked about that on stream? Do you want to talk about that on stream?
Not particularly, but Scott gets to kick me in the balls because of a bet we made and that I lost.
Make a lot of bets. Look at your hair.
That is true. When is the wrestling stream gonna be? If we ever do a boxing stream, it'll be live on pay-per-view.
Yeah, we'll charge the primo price for that.
But if you want to give us your money now, you can go to BrysonScott.store. Don't worry, in a few months we won't be shilling out our own product as much.
I don't know. We have 3 pretty big products. Well, 2 more that are coming still.
Well, we won't be shilling out the Pandy Bear. The one is in July, right?
Tentatively, yes, for July.
And the other one is whenever we hear back from a certain someone.
As soon as possible, really.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that here soon.
Yeah.
Like, probably really soon, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Let's talk about that a little bit after stream.
Yeah, no.
Because I honestly, it just clicked with me that we probably should. We're done. Ingo says, can I buy the book on the store? Is it only delivered to the US? And I have to buy, yeah, you have to buy it on Amazon, Ingo, if you want it to, if you want to buy it in Germany.
Still, everything we've sent out so far has been signed.
That is true. As of right now, we don't have any signed copies.
But we could make more.
Like we do have the power. We do have the power to sign. Can you tweet a link to your book? I can do you one better.
You could just go to the pin tweet on my profile.
But also, I can do you one better.
Fair point.
And if you're in if you're in Amazon, if you're in parts of the world that aren't America, go to Scott's pin tweet. Because I don't have the Amazon link on hand. I will say though, if you, it is preferable if you're in the US to buy on our store over Amazon because we lose more money selling it on Amazon.
Amazon's expensive.
Yeah, like we appreciate anyone buying the book anywhere, but we make a higher margin on Amazon takes a lot more than I thought it would.
Amazon takes like 40% of the cost.
Yeah,
of the book.
it's legitimately a lot. It's enough that we almost were like, do we have to raise the price of the book to sell it on Amazon? But we just accepted that we'll eat the little bit of a it's not a loss, but we'll eat the less earnings.
Less profit.
But so if you're in the US, like I said, it's preferable to buy on our Shopify store. It's really all the same either way.
Yeah. We're sending it out. Nothing's gonna be different.
Like, yeah, nothing changes in terms of like how you get it or what happens if you buy it on the store. It's all the same. Actually, stuff bought on Amazon's a little bit harder because I have to actually manually input everything, and it's. Can't you negotiate a deal with Jeff Bezos since you were Twitch partners and Amazon owns Twitch? I don't know. We'll talk.
We'll get right on that. We'll get our guy.
J says, all right, goofballs, gotta go. I'm too focused on the stream. I can't finish my piece. Good to see you guys. Keep it up. Keep it up to you, J. Good luck.
Keep it up.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Count it.
I will say, whenever we that day where we had to pile your car full of like 80 packages, it did look like we were selling drugs.
Yeah. Christ.
New Balance? Did you get a New Balance sponsorship? Are you like the boy Jack Harlow?
You already know.
Jackman.
Jackman.
So how's your day? My day's been pretty good. I've been up since 5 a.m.
Same, except for a little nap that I took in the middle.
I woke up at 5 a.m. and just had to start printing labels and packaging packages because I'm so successful. It's hard to be me.
Shut the fuck up.
But no, things are going well. It's a good week. I had a whole week where I didn't have to deal with Scott working.
I do tend to give Bryce more things to do when I'm working.
Damn, congratulations on your label printing job, Bryce. You know, honestly, that's kind of what my job has been recently. Has been label printing and packaging. Today is the first day I'm getting to. This week, I guess I should say, is the first week where I'm back to just 95% writing, which is good. I've missed it because the store it took a long time to get it all set up, but it was much worth it.
What he's saying is please buy the book so he doesn't lose his shit.
Well, there was a point in the making of the store where I basically I had a talk with Scott and I was like, if we get banned off Amazon after getting banned off eBay, I'm done. I quit. I give up. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, my career. I just walk away from it all. I can't take any more of this. But everything worked out. For now. What is MTI?
I have no idea.
Oh. Okay.
It just makes it look a little more official. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You picking up what
I'm picking up what you're putting down. You know, we're writing a book this week.
That's true. We have already plotted the whole book.
That is true. We're outlining a book today and tomorrow. And I'm writing a book in a few days.
You know how people say like big pharma, big oil, like stuff like that?
Uh-huh.
What's a really funny version of that? Like big something. Like big, not big wiener, but like big
Big Lucio? I don't know.
Big chungus.
Big chungus.
Big balls. Big Twitch. Big Elon.
Big, which is nice.
Which is nice. Regal. Unlimited. .com. No. Bigmoon.com.
What? Dude, you are struggling to type.
Well, it's hard because I have my gloves on.
It's hard because you're stupid.
It's hard because you're stupid.
Wow. Big radishes? What the fucking hell? What? You know, we got food from a pretty high class eatery yesterday.
McDonald's.
Yeah. We were, you know, like, it was kind of like fine dining. It took us about 40 minutes to get to the drive-thru.
It was quite the experience.
That after the Regal that was about half our day.
Go to bigmoon.com and make sure that's not like a real thing. Okay, bigmoon.com is just a white page. Oh, wait. Oh, the domain is for sale. Okay.
Somebody's gonna buy it and make it something really fucked up if you do that.
This is one of the dumbest things that I've ever drawn, especially for, like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm upset you didn't make it just BrysonScott.store.
I didn't want to shill.
Yeah, never. So Scott, you're back on the grind now. You know, you're back. You're done being lazy. What are your plans for this week, work-wise?
Just doing a bunch of Twitter stuff.
Just twittering?
Just twittering. Just tweeting.
Yeah, I noticed you were a bit behind. You only have like 5 in Drive right now.
Yeah.
So when the fuck are you gonna
though.
fix that mistake? Huh?
This week. We're good.
I expect 10 in Drive by the end of the week. You never did the Twitter post today? Oh, man. Oh, I'm gonna throw you out the window.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
At this point, just save it till tomorrow. I'm not gonna do it till tomorrow anyway.
So my plan for this is to make this like an album cover. But I need something funny to name the album. Like, it needs to just be one word. I guess it could be other words. Jetman.
I don't know. That's my contribution.
Okay, thanks, writer.
Yeah, name it that in support of Jack Harlow and his ongoing after his brutal assault by MGK. Name it Misha. I am glad you remembered the period.
Jetman. Big radish. No, I'm just gonna name it Goku.
Oh God. Oh. I feel like I'm Goku. What were the titles of her first 5 albums?
Also Goku.
Oh, I see.
Oh wait, the parental advisory sticker can't go there now. Shit. Okay, that's fine.
Jackman.
Jackman.
You're getting real artsy with it.
I'm working on my graphic design. But I'm still not sure about the name Goku.
Just make it self-titled. Just make it Lucia. You're not funny enough to come up with a funny joke.
Apparently.
Just name it Mid. Goku means rice, so you should just translate it and put words around it. Plain white rice.
Hold on.
Watching you work through this problem is certainly interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I just like Goku more. From a visual perspective, not from a concept perspective.
Wow, we're getting into from visual perspectives? We're losing the concepts?
Hold on, I gotta pull up ChatGPT.
Oh my fucking god, art's dead. Creativity has been murdered. What's your favorite album cover?
I feel like Illmatic is the correct answer to that question.
Illmatic?
Yeah.
It's pretty iconic. I don't know what mine would be. I don't know, I was thinking. What does that say, Scott?
That says Lucia's Big Day, which is nice.
We just keep adding. Like there's just like this tower going down. What will you add next?
I don't know. What's something funny I could translate into Japanese?
No, I feel like you have to keep getting more just like now you have to translate something into like Spanish. You just have to keep like just mixing it up. I don't think you can just keep going with the Japanese. Or you could just cut like what you just did and just put like a lot of Japanese text, like translate like the B movie script into Japanese or like something long like that. Well, what does that one say?
The Twitter goat.
You can't just keep us all in suspense. Well, you're not saying you're the goat, Scott. You're saying she's the Twitter goat.
Yes.
You can't. That's not being humble. That's just. That's her not being humble.
I mean, I feel like her face looks pretty humble. I really don't know what I would call that expression. I just wanted to do something weird.
Prime Lucia.
Prime Lucia.
Yeah, during the UFC shows, they always show like Logan Paul in that like giant Prime bottle. Do that, but with Lucia. You haven't done a mascot, Lucia, have you?
I don't think so. But I actually can't say for sure. Do you think we could get a Logan Paul sponsorship?
No, I don't think we could get a Logan Paul sponsorship.
Damn.
Or a Prime sponsorship. I don't know if that'd probably be more applicable, but although I don't know, everyone gets a Prime sponsorship these days, it seems like.
What I'm saying. I'll sell out. I don't care.
We've made it abundantly clear we would sell out.
Netflix hit our line.
We're just waiting for the day of big company. I'm apparently gonna pass out midstream. We're just waiting for the day a big company just comes along and just like let us ruin your creativity. That's
Waiting for the day that you pass out on stream.
No, I almost fell asleep when we were in that drive-thru last night. What was there?
I can tell because you were laying down.
Yeah. I have this ability just to basically fall asleep anywhere. It's kind of a problem. I can really, if I want to, I can just cozy up and fall asleep.
Drake bet like $300,000 on Amanda Nunes. Is
I
that who it was?
I don't actually.
I think that's what happens. Maybe it was like 250K.
Big difference. You're right. Makes sense. Remember when Drake made that necklace of like 30 engagement rings?
Oh boy, do I.
That's Drizzy. Do you think for people like Drake, like, you know, like we talk about, like sometimes we'll see like a nice car and we'll be like, oh, that's that person's hobby is like nice cars. Do you think people that are like really rich, like Drake, like, do you think being rich is their hobby? Like that,
I mean,
like,
have you heard his raps?
Like just like owning all like the best brands. I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. Like, do you think it's just like that's what they do for fun? It's just be rich.
Definitely people like that. People that like live above their means just to like have designer clothes and shit like that. Definitely.
Couldn't be me.
Welcome to the fiscally responsible Twitch channel, where we
everyone invest all of your money in crypto.
In copies of the Panty Bear, they could be worth a lot one day.
That is true.
Jackman.
Especially if you get a signed copy. There's only about 200 of those that have gone out so far.
That many?
Huh?
Well, actually, yeah, I guess so.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we've sold around 200 so far.
Yeah, but the ones with the drawings on them, those were the really valuable ones.
Yeah, the first.
You missed out on those.
The first like 100 had drawings in them. Although I have one that has a drawing in it, just sitting behind me.
He really wanted a drawing from me.
No, it was supposed to go to somebody else, but then we just shipped out a different book to them. I said, Scott, the one you drew in this one is too shit. And so now it's just sitting up here. So actually, I just remember I said we were one short. We're actually not one short. Unless we get more orders. In which case, we are one short.
You heard him. Don't order.
We've gotten really into chess lately. That's been something else we've been doing a lot.
That's true. I heard people like it when you play chess on Twitch.
Chess is pretty big on Twitch.
Still think I could beat you.
Huh?
I said I still think I can beat you, even though you've been practicing.
I mean, you beat me before. It's not like you haven't ever beaten me.
Yeah, but it's been a couple times.
Ingo said, yo, fight me in chess.
You play chess, Ingo? I'll play you in chess.
Yeah, we've just started playing, like literally just like last week, randomly one night, we were like hanging out, and we were playing checkers, and we were like, what if we played chess instead? And we both played chess, and we were like, bro, chess is fucking cool. And then we sat out on the porch one afternoon and played chess for a few hours. I was freezing. I almost died, but we did do it.
He was a big baby about the cold.
I was full on like Kenny from South Park in my jacket. It was pretty cold.
Really wasn't.
I was freezing. I didn't know if I was gonna make it. The next time I went over, we played chess. It was hot outside, and I was still like, no, let's stay inside. I don't want that again. I don't want to risk that happening again. Ingo said I'll message you after stream. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like it. I like Go a lot too. Like Scott and I used to play a lot of Go, but the thing I like about chess more is the games are very quick. Go games are long. They're commitments.
I still think I prefer it, but yeah, it's hard to sit down as much to actually just be like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna play like a, 15-minute game of fucking Go.
Why does she have a band-aid? What did she do to hurt herself?
She's fell and scraped her knee while she was rollerblading.
That was really oddly specific. Just do the colors of the Pandy Bear cover.
Oh yeah, that is what this. I was like, why does this look familiar?
That's what you're starting to do.
I was like, what am I stealing this from? Oh yeah, myself.
He's so good, ×4. You know what I was thinking? You remember those test copies of the Pandy Bear that we did? The very first print ones, the ones that were only like 10 pages?
Yeah.
We should give one of those away one day.
We'd have to make sure that it was somebody that like really wants it though.
Yeah, like they have to know what it is, but I just feel like that'd be kind of a cool, because there's only like 10 of those, and there's like test print copies. I don't know. I feel like we'd have to save
over
it
here
for
next to me.
Yeah, I know. I noticed because I noticed it earlier, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have any of those." So at some point, I want to steal at least one of those from you.
Yeah, it's like it has just like this shitty cover on the back that was just like a random Twitter post, and I put it on the back of the because we didn't have a back cover yet. It wasn't done, but then we did it, and we were testing out the interior pages to make sure everything looked okay. Because we had never really printed anything before. And we ended up not using this company anyways. But here you go.
Yeah, our batches from that company turned out weird.
They turned out dark. Other than that, they're pretty much identical to the other copies. So if we don't like you, we might just send you one of the dark copies.
Well, actually, they are a lot bigger for some reason. I feel like the final print copies of the Pandy Bear are a little bit skinnier. Well, I couldn't tell you why.
And nobody knows.
I think we had to go with a different page weight, but not by much. I'll tell you what, ordering 750 books and hoping that everything turns out good and you didn't make some fatal error in printing, stressful.
It's an experience.
But thankfully, all the books showed up fine. For some reason, apparently we got like 20 extra. We don't know why. We're gonna open one of the boxes, and there's just gonna be a note that's just like, you're about to see some fucked up shit, and it's just gonna be like 20 books that are just like, they're just all kinds of, they're printed upside down, printed backwards, missing lettering. You know, you had 28 boxes dropped off at your house.
It took a while for the guy to drop all them off. I had to help him unload from the truck.
You shouldn't have done it. You should have been like, no, I don't get paid for that.
Excuse me, I paid for delivery.
And then we had to take them all to my house.
True.
And now here they are.
We're just praying they don't get wet.
Don't get washed away by the fucking storms. Has it rained yet today? I thought it was supposed to rain a bunch today. Maybe it's not till later.
Yeah, I don't think it has today.
Oh no, it's not gonna start till later. But it's gonna rain all night. Cool. And then it's gonna rain all weekend. And then it's
color
gonna rain
do we like
Monday.
better?
What?
For the background, what color do we like better?
I'm partial to the blue just because I like it looks like the Panty Bear cover. Does Lucia work part-time at Sonic?
Sonic? I don't think I've drawn that one yet.
Yeah, you gotta pimp out Sonic.
Maybe. I've only eaten there once in the last probably 10 or 15 years.
And you didn't get a hot dog?
And I didn't get a hot dog, and that was a mistake. It was at like 1 a.m. on New Year's.
We ate hot dogs.
It's like one of those stories that you normally would tell about like being drunk, but I was completely sober.
That was part of the problem.
Yeah. Anyways, yes, I did make burgers and hot dogs for everybody.
They were pretty good.
They were really good.
They were pretty good.
They were really good. Shut up.
Nah, they were really good. You served us corn in a bowl. I'd never encountered that in my life before.
Well, I just didn't want to fuck with putting it on everybody's plates. I was like, fuck it, you can get your own corn.
It was just funny. Anyway, also, you started to say something?
Well, I was going to say also corn, but you kind of...
You did this thing where you took all of our orders, and you're like, what do you want on your burger and shit? And then like 2 seconds later, like, your Amy just brought out all the condiments. It was really funny. And then you didn't have to do that for everybody. I wanted to make you do as much work as possible.
True, you don't like me.
That is true.
I kind of like the pink. I'm not gonna lie.
They both look good. I've only seen Sonic go commercials. Sonic's, I mean, it's... If you get a hot dog, it's fine.
This is the reference, by the way. The reference had a pink background. I kind of want to draw some rings or something on her.
Well, you know, Scott, it is your drawing. You can do what you want. No one can stop you. Ring pops? Yeah, just give her a giant ass ring pop. I feel like there was a time where ring pops were everywhere. I don't ever see
when you were like 8, probably.
I don't ever see no kids eating no ring pops anymore.
Well, I did 2 whole drawings today. Or on
Which is
stream.
nice.
Which is nice.
So you're back already.
I'm fucking back,
A
dog.
week can't hold you down.
Yeah, I like the pink more. Okay.
You've sold yourself.
I've sold myself. For the fame.
For the fame.
I did it all for the nookie.
Yeah, throw back to Limp Bizkit. What?
What are you doing for the rest of the day, boy? Lad?
Probably working a little bit more and then cooking dinner. And then eating dinner.
Nice.
And then I think I'm hanging out with Shroom later tonight.
Really?
I think. What about you? What are your plans?
Oh, I don't know. It depends on how Amy feels when she gets home. She had a root canal.
Fair.
So it depends on if she can eat.
Fair. Makes sense to me, Big Moon.
Bigmoon.com.
Yeah, I might be doing more work after we finish stream. I don't know. I worked a lot today. You know, I'm a hard worker.
Well, that's news to me.
I can't believe this motherfucker. I woke up at 5 a.m. for you. I printed your goddamn slips. Evidently not well enough according to the post.
I was gonna say not well enough. She was nice about it. She was nice about it. But I could tell. It was like one of those, she was nice about it, but it's like, if you fuck it up again, like, I'm not going to be nice about it.
Like, this is the last time you better come in without that sheet. So
And I was like, you know what? That's fair.
Next time, even if we just bring in 2 books, I feel like we have to bring the sheet.
That would be really funny.
I feel like if we did that, then she'd be extra pissed at us, because then I feel like it feels like we're being sassy. Was it still the same woman and the old man?
I don't think it was. I think
That
it was a
older man
different
has been there
woman.
every single time we've gone.
He was there, but he wasn't the one that walked up to me. It's like I walked in and the old man signaled to that woman to
That's pretty fucking funny.
to go talk to me.
That's fucking funny. Maybe he's the Earl.
Okay. Should we wrap up?
Yeah, sure. Hope everyone enjoyed stream. We're back on Wednesday.
We'll be back on Wednesday, guys.
Which is nice.
I said that.
Oh god, my. Anyway.
Which is nice.
Okay,
Okay, bye everyone.
bye everybody. Are we rating someone?
Yeah, I already.
Oh. Okay. Well, bye everybody. Have a good rest of your evening.
Bye.